Welcome everybody to our daily gun show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern and talk about guns. About an hour. And right now we're dealing with the sick puppies. So got that going on. Saw a couple of cool things I put listed in the description here today. It's Oregon. We've got an Oregon bill 3118, which is a new bill that introduced to the House in Oregon to provide firearm safety and accident prevention classes to kids in the first grade, 30-minute class. Sounds like a pretty good idea. Yeah, the puppy is not feeling good. He's doing an update on the puppies in a bit. All right, so we got a link to that Oregon bill. Thanks to Kids Safe for coming up with that one and being persistent on it, and whoever the state representatives are that are passing that or pushing that one through, or posting that one up. They're not really pushing it through; they're just putting it there. All right, next is the Four Boxes Diner had an interesting video today talking about the positive aspects of where we're at in 2023 and brought up this Wren versus Washington, D.C. Wren versus Washington, D.C. New case I'll be adding to Minuteman University when I can. It sounds like an interesting case. If I'm remembering correctly, it had to do with a stun gun. And it's one that the antis technically won, but if they would have pursued it, it would have given us the equivalent of the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association decision consequences a couple of years earlier, 2016 or 17. So that'd be an interesting thing to add to the Minuteman University research project. Let's see, then there was a couple of focuses on the pistol decision from attorneys, which help clear up or at least confront some of the issues that are being presented out there. So the first one is from Floodbusters. Brace yourself. And he's got a video that just came out earlier today, or maybe yesterday, 22 hours ago, I think. The next one is from the Armed Attorneys out of Texas. They also did a live preview today. What do they call it? A live premiere today that addresses the questions of will the courts be able to stop the brace overreach before it gets implemented? Spoiler alert, no. And then there was another lawyer video from Washington Lawyer, or it's called Washington Law, describing the situation in Oregon and Washington right now. Okay. So then there was a couple of videos that have to do with SHOT. First one was Chris in the 740 hosted a get-together with a bunch of people who were heading to SHOT for the first time this year, who had gotten together right before SHOT to talk about the show. So it's neat to see their experiences. Then there was another similar show, but for people who are focused on Second Amendment. That was hosted by both Meet the Pressers and Riding Shotgun with Charlie on both of their channels. And it was a full house. It was interesting to hear how people experienced the show and what they accomplished. Then it's Wednesday, so there's Cape Gunworks does a radio show. So we have links to that one. Good show. They had Philip Smith from National African American Gun Owners Association on for the long format, second hour. Pretty good conversation. Then let's see. The Gun Owners Radio out of California takes their segments from their long Sunday show and posts them and throughout the week. And today they posted one on the gun violence listening sessions, which was a strategy by the antis in the San Diego area to create the perception of an open-minded discussion or an open discussion period, and was utilized by pro-gun people, pro-gun owners people, to champion rights and to use that publicly or taxpayer funded, publicly available event for more than just what the anti-gun rights, gun owners' rights people would have used it for without any interference. There's also a couple of military podcasts going on. One of them was just earlier today. I haven't listened to it, but it sounds interesting. Highly classified aerospace programs with Alex Hollings. And Ed's Manifesto has episode 9 of their podcast dropping today. It's another type of fighter who's worked all around the world and is now located in, I forget where he's located now, but somewhere in the Americas. All right, so that's the stuff that came up on the radar that I've paid attention to today. I don't know if anybody else has been paying attention to anything else good out there. I don't know if it's going live or if it's the late hour or if it's because this dog's snoring at me, but I was doing just fine until I started the show. And now I'm yawning and feeling like I'm going to fall asleep. What's wrong with the puppy? Okay, so the dogs, I had to put them up because everybody in Vegas hated the dogs, so I couldn't bring them to SHOT Show. So I put them in the dog prison, and turns out they got the sickness from the dog prison. So they've got some kind of kennel cough or something. This is him. Normally he sounds like this. This isn't too bad, but he's moping. Not normally moping like this. Both of them started coughing a little bit the first day. And notice it now, the third day. It's like the third day. And fourth day, I guess, if you count Sunday. They were fine on Sunday. Started coughing on Monday. And now today, little dude here, threw up a bunch of times. So they're always tired, the dogs. But I feel like they're more tired than normal. And not 100%. They still get up and do stuff, and they'll play with each other. And little dude ate a bunch of stuff. Mello won't really eat nothing. But little dude threw out most of whatever he ate today. But he's been pooping outside. He hasn't been throwing up outside. He doesn't really go anywhere to throw up. So I got a bunch of pieces of paper right here. We take care of that way. He didn't have a great night last night, but then he was doing pretty good all day until, I don't know, maybe 2 hours ago. Then he started throwing up everything. So, I don't know. He's not going downhill, except for the throwing up. He had been getting less and less and less symptoms. Mello is doing fine. However, just when I thought she might be done with it all, she'll stand up and just start dry heaving to where it freaks me out, and then just look at me funny and then sit back down and go back to sleep. So I hear that snot coming out. He'll also have little white snots come out, but they haven't come out all day. Well, since earlier this morning. So he's not getting any more sniffles, really. He's not dripping out of here. was dripping out of here. And every once in a while, when he would make that noise like he just did, like if he would do this, he'll, there'd be like a big white snot, and none of those big white snots are coming out anymore. So he's pretty gross, and things leak out at all different places on him. Things leak out of his eyes, things leak out of his nose, big white snots come out of his nose. He's always breathing out of this hole, and then he drools out of here all the time. And then when he's sick like this, he pukes, and then he's got a bunch of puke all around his mouth, so you gotta wipe his mouth out. Then he sweats all the time, so that's gross. I'm pretty sure fluid comes out of his ears somehow, because he's that gross. And then there's an area down here where other things come out of, which is pretty gross. So he's effectively super gross, and then when he's sick, he's like super gross times 3. He kind of stinks right now, kind of like eyedroppers. Kind of smells like eye drops, so I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's faking this whole thing. Maybe he's just eating some eyedroppers for sympathy. I saw that on a movie. Otherwise, I think he's doing okay. I feel like got him his vaccines before he went to go be in dog prison. And then he went ahead and got, so I feel like I wasted a bunch of money on vaccine shots. Plus, I got to go back and get his booster shots after a while, so that's annoying. Good news is I've been getting a lot of laundry done. A lot of things that, really aren't that dirty, but now have dog puke on them are getting cleaned again. So that's good. Wearing out my clothes a lot faster than I would normally. All right, well, so that's the puppy updates. Mello's doing good. This dude is living up to his new poop machine patch, but it's in a sick way, so I can't really give him too much grief about it. No temperature, no fever, and he still eats. If I put food in front of him right now, he'd wake up and start eating it. So he's got an appetite. And those are the things I'm supposed to be watching for. All right, so as far as missing out on the 2A stuff, I'm trying to figure out a way to get the information so that on Friday it's not a multi-hour effort to accumulate it all. So I'm attempting to do this format where we'll update with what's been going on throughout the day or recently in the description of the video each day. And then on Friday we can summarize the big stuff. But there's some other stuff to chat about. Then try to figure out how to get some people in here to co-host. It's kind of late now, but it's only 14 minutes in. We'll see if anybody's interested in jumping in. I should have probably sent some links out to people about Shot Show and whatnot. Yeah, they're vaccinated for both the Bordetella kind of cut them off and some kind of S1. But I think the problem is that they both, I don't know, maybe they just got them both. But yeah, it's vaccinating. I fed him a little bit of tuna, but they're not, this guy, he'll eat. Mellow won't eat nothing. So I've been taking hot water, like what I'm drinking right now, and poured it on some of her buffalo food, and then she'll eat it. Well, so as far as the 2A stuff, I hear what you're saying. We've got resources and we've got entities on the playing field, and those entities have positions, and they do what they do, and the people that fill those entities come and go, and that's what I think we're we're dealing with right now. There's a bunch of new people who've taken the field and they've got the potential to do some stuff. They've seen what people who had the field before did with their time on the field, and it's curious to see what's going to happen next. So there's a bunch of people that used to play the game, quote unquote, like people watched wrestling back in the day, just as an observation sport or whatever. And then at some point, people started having more interest in the turnouts of these games, and they wouldn't stand for the fixed narrated or whatever the word is, like scripted turnouts or decisions. So I think what we're going to see now is new organizations that have got their own accomplishments and their own goals, and supporters who directly support them, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing some of that. We're seeing the people who come and go have, are in various stages of leaving. Some of them are coming, but most of them are leaving. And the people that are leaving have left a void and an experience that the new are gonna fill, and in new directions, I guess. So that's the part that there's no finish line, and it's true. I think I get what you're saying, that it's pointless to follow the specifics of news of the day, other than the news of the day happens, but paying attention to who's paying attention to news of the day, being aware of who's occupying those seats and those chairs and those discussions, how long they stay in those chairs before they get frustrated, what they're talking about in those chairs. That's the stuff that's interesting to see. So I don't know how many things people watch today, but just today watching Chris and the group who went to SHOT Show for the first time, that was an interesting conversation. And then you go over and you listen to Meet the Pressers and Charlie talking to people who've maybe been to SHOT Show like 3 or 4 times, and they're more Second Amendment focused, and that was an interesting conversation, right? Then you've got Cape Gun Works talking about SHOT Show earlier today. That was a different conversation altogether. Let's see. Did any of the other shows? Yeah, the armed attorneys, whenever they were doing their premiere earlier, Clover was in there asking if they went to SHOT Show. So there was even some SHOT Show discussion there. Let's see. So here's a good question. Who are we talking about specifically? Ellen Gottlieb? Shannon Watts is out. I'm not sure. So now that I've been ranting for a bit, I'm not sure who I'm saying that. Let's see. But if I'm talking about the people that are coming and going, I just mean in general. Like there's lots of different people that are going to figure out at some point that they're able to pull up a chair and sit down and be part of the discussion. They don't have to just observe from the seats over there. And those people come and go. Those people have to get some ambition to do it. And then once they've done it for a while, eventually they leave. They get sick of it, or they have to leave. So the chair becomes vacant again. Let's see, on the 2A note, Defense Net is saying on the 2A note, tomorrow in Nebraska, Constitutional Carry Bill goes before the committee before it can go on a vote. Sandhills and the Nebraska Firearm Owners Association are leading the rally at the state capitol tomorrow before people get to go on and testify to the committee. Oh, okay, thanks. I tried to post that yesterday and I wasn't quite sure. And I appreciate the interaction, because I wasn't, it is definitely the kind of thing I want to make sure to include in the show. So I'm going to go over and grab, oh no, I guess I can grab it from right here. I'm not screen sharing, but I'm going to go grab your comment and make sure that Nebraska Constitutional Carry Bill goes before committee tomorrow. So I'm going to add that to description of the video, so that we've got it in here. I knew that was one of the things that was kind of imminent, but I appreciate that because I wasn't sure from tomorrow is somewhere. That'll be 126. January 26. Okay, I remember that one, so we'll make sure I put it over here. January. All right, so I'll save that and bring this back. All right. So thanks to the defense dad for bringing that one up. Baron is saying that the puppy looks like ET. Yeah. Every once in a while, the puppy will. He's looking like he's got a real long face today when he stands up, and he's got like a weird kind of face going on, and he'll kind of cough, gag, yawn all at the same time. So Shan, the Shanny, she is allegedly leaving later on this year. Not quite yet. So the defense dad is saying, "Oh, do you talking about the Nebraska carry bill?" So he says, "I'm unable to go, but I already submitted my testimony online, so it can be part of the record." Right on. Where's my little deal? I wish I had my little deal. I could put it on my head. Where's my deal? I gotta go get it. So you can entertain yourself. I'm gonna leave the puppy here. The puppy will probably get up to see where I went, but maybe he won't. He's kind of sick, but I gotta go get a blanket. All right, he must be sick. He didn't even get up. Usually he gets up when I leave to look at where I went. He wasn't here anymore. All right, so it's just super cold in here, so I figured I can't go sleep in the bed anymore because of something that happened. We're going to be sleeping out here in a chair tonight. I need to get these blankets anyway. So might as well throw that one over me right away. All right, so now we're both sitting here with blankets on. All right, so I'm not going to feed him Reese's Pieces. He won't like them, and I don't give him candy. G23, hopefully everything goes as fast as possible for you over there. Let's see, what committee? Is it televised? So that's a good question. I don't know if they have televisions in Nebraska. I think it'll be on the CB radio. It'll be on channel 13 on the CB radio. let's see. If you get a bike and put them in the basket, they'll fly. No, I don't think that'll work. Is it judiciary? I don't know. Oh, I find out it is televised on the state's website. So they have a website and a TV. Let's see. It probably has the SHOT Show card. I don't know. I think what he has is the kennel cough. That's what they call it. I don't know. Like I say, they started out being fine, and then they started coughing on Monday, and then they coughed a couple of times yesterday. And I was thinking, oh, they're done already. Like, they're not even going to cough anymore. And then dude's been puking, and he coughed, I don't know, like a lot earlier, all at once, though. And then she coughed, like I was like, well, she's done. And then she started coughing to where it really freaked me out, actually. But then she hasn't made a noise since. You still alive? Hey, she's still alive. She looks at me and stuff. But she's not doing anything. She's just sitting there. But the thing is, she only just sits there anyway. So I'm not sure how to read what's going on with her. Oh, G23 is back home. That's good to hear. Oh no, he said he's in the hospital until next week. Okay. All right. I think he's just asleep. Yeah, he's just asleep. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. You can go back to sleep. All right. So going back to, I'm not sure who you were talking about, who I was talking about. Right. So, like I say, I don't have a lot. I don't script this show, and there's a lot going on, but I'm still trying to figure it all out. Name was Pug. I can see why people like pugs. They're pretty nice when they're not pooping or puking on you. They're pretty good. When they're not ruining things, they're pretty good. And I can see why people like them. But it's frustrating when they're sick. You can't do nothing for them. Keep him warm. He doesn't have a fever. And like I say, right now he's acting super sick, but it's just the type of day when he's normally sleeping anyway. So we'll keep formatting this show, and it will not be me sitting here talking because this is boring as hell. I'm not interested in doing this kind of show. So we'll figure out a way to get some interactivity with this show. Otherwise, it'll just be something I do earlier in the day and then rewind it because I'm not going to keep people up to listen to this, and there's no point in making this into a podcast. So we'll keep doing stuff when I'm not completely distracted with the puppies being sick and trying to get some stuff done on a big project. We'll be able to spend more attention to this one. There is a mouse party tonight. That'll happen here in a moment. So we'll just end this one and send you over to the mouse party. Oh no, wait, the mouse party ends in, I guess it's in an hour. Dang it. So I would have this thing going for another hour, but like I say, I feel like I'm pulling teeth right now. So appreciate everybody joining in, but right now we're just talking about the puppy being sick, and another veterinarian. I can't really talk about that much more.